Okay, today we're headed to 8 acres in Rancho La Garita. It'll be west of Trinidad, Colorado. I'm on the east side of Trinidad right now, coming in to Trinidad on, what highway is this? Highway 160, I believe. It turns into East Main Street in Trinidad, but we're going to be heading up into the mountains this direction. This property has a new driveway, 600-foot drive, and a large pad site area where you can start camping or build a cabin or bring your RV to. And I'll be showing you clips of the drive on the way up, flying my drone over it, and driving up into the property on the new road to the pad site. It has great views back to the south and southeast, back to Fisher's Peak over Trinidad. That's Fisher's Peak. Fisher's Peak State Park's on top of there, second largest in Colorado. This is the second year it's open, I believe. And it's going to have a lot of world-class mountain biking. You can hike and do different things in there. There's lots of public lands in the area, national forest, wilderness area, lakes, 4 upper mountain lakes. And this property is going to be about 25 minutes from town with year-round access. There's power and phone along the road, so all you have to do is pull power right from the eastern boundary, which is the road. What else? It's basically about in the center of the county. The elevation is perfect for growing, gardening, homesteading, and a water well shouldn't be too tough, about 200-300 feet deep, maybe that much. $22 a foot. So I'll just shoot a little bit of Trinidad, of Main Street. And we'll take a right up here and it'll connect us up with Highway 12. There's Commercial Street. We're coming to the end of Main Street. We could take a right to get to Highway 12. We'll just go all the way to the end of Main Street. You can see I-25. If you go left, you'll be going south into New Mexico to Raton, New Mexico. And if you go right, you'll be headed up to Pueblo, Colorado Springs, Denver, and out of the state. We'll take a right here, go around the roundabout, and get on the streets that take us to Highway 12. Here's the roundabout, and we'll be going underneath I-25 and following Highway 12 out of town to Segundo, Colorado, or where the Ringo supermarket's at with gas pumps, fuel pumps. And don't run into somebody. And about a mile west of Segundo, we take a right on Sarcillo Canyon Road, and I'll be telling you the county road number when we get up there. Here's Trinidad Greenhouses. You just follow the signs when you're winding through town, going out west on Highway 12. And Monument Lake is 36 miles. It's a nice thing about this property, it's in the center of the county. And you're about 30 minutes, 35, 40 minutes or less, 10, 15 to state wildlife area, really close. But you're, 30, 45 minutes at the most to most any of the public lands, national forest, wilderness area, wildlife areas, lakes. Okay, we're leaving Trinidad. There's the bottom of the dam of Trinidad Lake. So Trinidad Lake State Park is just right up here on the left. Okay, we're coming to the first entrance to Trinidad Lake State Park. You take a left and you'll end up going over the dam, which will put you on the south end of Trinidad. There's Fisher's Peak in the background. And the boat ramps are on this side. And there's also RV spots, camping, as well as on this side over here. I have my camera zoomed out for a wide angle, so the views you're seeing, like Fisher's Peak, are a lot bigger than what they look right now. And even when I zoom completely in with this wide angle lens, they don't quite look as big, but they're real close, as big as they should when you're standing here. The views, like mountains or hills or anything. Small towns are all dotted throughout the hills, especially along I-25. There's Cokedale. There's a coal mining museum there. There's the old coke ovens, like Roman ruins. You see Fisher's Peak in the background to the west, and that's also, you can take a left-hand turn right there and go into the back area of Trinidad Lake State Park. Okay, I've zoomed in so you can see what the mountains look like, about what they look like. They look a little bigger. The window's dirty. They look a little bigger than that, but that's the best I can do with this wide angle zoom lens. It's a new gas station and car wash that's going in, and they might even have a restaurant in it. We're almost to Segundo. We're about a mile away where Ringo's grocery store is at, and you have fuel. If you keep going east or west on Highway 12 past this turnoff to Segundo, not Segundo, Sarcillo Canyon Road, then you'll end up in the mountains up there at Stonewall, right at the foot of them. And there's RV sites, camping sites, lodging, and then you have Monument Lake that has all this. Okay, this is the little town of Segundo. Again, it's an old coal mining town, but it has survived because it's on Highway 12. Ringo's old sign. Ringo's will be on the left. This brown building up here. It's nice to have a grocery store closer than Trinidad, 25 minutes away. Some of the prettiest views you get in the county is driving the county roads, or Highway 12, the Highway of Legends, and this will take you through the base of those mountains over there, all along Highway 160 to Cachara, Colorado, at the top of Cachara Pass, and then you can drop down into La Veta and connect up with, now this is Highway 12, and then you end up connecting with 160 that will take you west to Alamosa, Pagosa Springs, Wolf Creek, Durango, or you can go east to Walsenburg and hit I-25 and go north to Pueblo, Colorado Springs, Denver, or south back to Trinidad. Okay, before we cross this bridge, we're going to be taking a ride on the Sarcillo Canyon Road. To our left, down the valley here, is the Purgatory River that runs into the back of, can't see it down there, of Trinidad Lake. So this is 41.7. County Road 41.7. This is called Sarcillo Canyon. And this is paved all the way up to within about 3 miles of the property. So the main county road's paved and it's maintained year-round. And then the subdivision itself, the owners will plow that and maintain that road as needed. And right now the gas wells that are in the gas company in the area will plow it during the winter. It's almost April 2022, and it's early spring, of course, and we've gone about 2.5 miles up Sarcillo Canyon Road, headed to the property. Once you start hitting about 7,000 feet in this area, 7,000, 7,500 is probably the ideal elevation, like I say, for gardening, homesteading, and you'll start getting into the tall ponderosa pines and picking those up because the available moisture at the higher the elevation that you go. We're going to be taking a left. We've gone about 4 miles now. We're going to be taking a left right after a pond. There's going to be a pond on the right. You have to kind of look for it because we're on a hill and the pond's kind of down below to the right. When you see that pond, you go past that turn, then and you see that pond on your right real good, then you miss the left. We've come about 4 miles now up Sarcillo, County Road 41.7. Although when I start getting in these sandstone canyons with the ponderosa pine, and of course the higher up you go in elevation, you'll get into aspens and blue spruce. We're a little over 6 miles up Sarcillo Canyon. There's a nice pond right here on the right. Once you see that, you can either take a left and go into La Garita, or you can take a right a little further up, about another half mile, 3/4 of a mile, and take a right and go into La Garita. But when you get up here, again, the mountains look about like that. And that is the West Spanish Peak. And you can see the pond there. The West Spanish Peak, these roads lead up over there eventually. That's wilderness area, and there's a Spanish Peaks wildlife area. It's 2,700 acres, about another 10 minutes up the road here. So okay, we're going to take a left into Rancho La Garita. About 7 miles from Highway 12. Don't see a road number sign. So at the pond back there, and where you can see the West Spanish Peak really well for the first time, that's where you take a left. So you just, after you take that left, you just stay on this main road. There's a place up there. I don't think you can see it. And then we're going to take another left, basically at the end of this road. And we'll only be a mile after the left, just short of a mile. That's it. There's a gate up there going to a big ranch. So you can only go left. And we're going to be going left onto Smith's Trek, and it says Rancho La Garita too. They just come a little ways, but it looks like a propane tank with the Colorado flag painted on it. We've only come about 4/10 of a mile. Smith's Trek. That's Tennis Drive to the right. When we get to the bottom of this little hill, we'll take a left. You'll see the road sign and this cabin. This is going to be Smith's Trek still. Tree Valley Lane is to the right. And this is real recognizable. This is a different property. Across the road, and I got my mileage wrong. We're a mile after that left-hand turn, so this entrance is going to be about just at 2 miles from the main road. And zoom out again. Okay, when we came around the corner right there, everything on our right is a part of the property. The owner had a road and a site put in, so people could just start using the property. So we come here, we're going to take it right and go up the hill. If you keep going this direction, there is another entrance to get out onto the main Sarcillo Canyon Road that we came up. But it's longer that way. It's probably about 4.5, 5 miles of roads going back in this way. So the best way to come into this property is the way we just came. Okay, we're just going to take it slow going up. It's been roughed in. Over there, that's south off of the property. We see a couple of RVs here on the bottom. So we're coming in pretty close to the southwestern corner along the eastern boundary line on the main road. And there's nice kind of level land through in here. You can see by the topos there's several benches over in here. This would be another good spot to take off on the road, like right here, and make a site out over in there, and you'll have views, I think, of Fisher's Peak from there. And the property goes up on top of the ridge and then about 40 yards to the west up on top. You have tremendous views hiking up there. And this is looking east, and we'll see Fisher's Peak here in a minute. Here we go. So you have good southern exposure. You'll have the sunshine in the morning coming up all day long. And this is looking south into New Mexico. We're coming up to the pad site. There's a little back end spot, so if you had an RV, you could pull around and then back in there and be able to pull out rather easily. And I'm zoomed out right now, so you're not seeing the views the right size. We'll get out and take a look. Okay, before we go anywhere, the top of the map is always north. So, and this is 8 acres, but we came in from the north from this direction. And the driveway basically follows that highlighted line to the site where we're sitting now. And you see the topo lines. There's another place up above us here, up there. Okay, you can see the drive that we just came up right here. And the southern boundary line runs basically through these trees right here, just on the other side of this tree. Up here a little bit further, probably about 30-40 yards, and then comes across the hill this direction. When you see the higher, those trees that are on that very hilltop up there, they're the tallest. Those are going to be this last topo line right here. So this bench right here, about we're right here on the pad site, and we're looking this direction. Those tallest ones are on that upper bench, so that will be off property. So the western boundary line runs right, and then right below those top trees. So you have another bench in here. You could widen this area if you want to make it bigger for a larger place. And like I say, right down here, you can go down here and take a right, and there's another large area that you could use to put more buildings on. You can have one home and one guest home and as many outbuildings as you want by county regulations. You go over Trinidad, and of course I-25 goes south over Raton Pass, and that ridge line all the way over there is New Mexico. Okay, I think I'm gonna just walk over here. And the property, because we're on the southern boundary line, goes a good ways. You can see I have the plat maps for the property. This is 8 acres, and this will tell you all the footages of these lines. And there's corners at all the spots, and they're flagged. The corners are flagged on the road on the bottom. Yeah, that spot right there where the treetops are kind of flat, and then right on the other side of the road you can see the treetops flat in there. Those are 2 good spots on this property too. Okay, I'm gonna fly my drone over, and then I'll take the drive back out so you can see as we're going out. It'd be good to drill a water well down the bottom. You should get good water down there, and then run your line up the road. And Rancho La Garita has covenants, but There's no property owners association, so there's no dues, and everyone does as they see fit on their land within county regulations. I just wanted to come up above the site a little bit so you can see the views. Up here would be incredible. So you can see this next bench that goes out and see how the trees are the same height going back. A lot of elk and deer in this area. Second largest elk herd in the world, population in the world, and lots of mule deer. Okay, now we're leaving the site, and if you're seeing this on YouTube or Zillow or someplace like that, please go to ranchviews.com, ranchviews.com. I do this with all my properties. Doing a drive to, a video of the property, and a flyover with my drone, and I'll just finish my driving off the way we came in. Put in gear to help. Big giant sandstone boulder. This spot over in here would be another nice place to open up for a site. And you have room over here on this side too. You can see the treetops are pretty level, and right here especially. You have usable ground. The driveway is not even very long, 600 feet, but it's not too bad. You can see the power down here, and there's hardline phone in the road, but the cell phone works so good up there, you don't need it unless you want it. And as far as internet, you can get satellite, Dish, or Hughes. Those are, with clouds, they become difficult. We used them for years. This property, you'll be able to get the radio internet that's in the area, and it works as good as if you're at a hotel. So the northeastern corner of the property is right up here on this road, right about where that rock's at. On the left-hand side, we're headed north again the way we came in, and it's like 2 miles. I mean a mile to take a right, and then go another mile. We're back on the paved county road. There's the corner.